You're watching Spotlight, a production of Culture in Maine, York's cultural showcase. I'm Carla Christopher, poet, publisher, and producer. Join me, along with editor, musical guru, and video extraordinaire Jay Schmuck, plus wild outdoorsman and videographer, along with technical extraordinaire Cliff Kern, and all of our friends as we go behind the scenes and get into the underground of what's really going on in the arts and cultural amazing explorations that are happening in South Central Pennsylvania. You'll see everything from art to music to dance to theater, and you'll also get to meet the people who really make it happen, find out how and why. Along with some great studio performances, some amazing on-the-street footage. You'll also get the real story. And that's what we're here to shine a spotlight on. Let's go. Hey everybody. I'm Carla Christopher, your fearless host, and the curator here at this wild zoo we like to call Culture in Maine, a behind-the-scenes close investigation of the mysteries that make artists who they are and tells us a little bit about why we do what we do. Now, we have a really special episode this week. A good friend, frequent collaborator, and regular guest host who has since flown the coop to go hang out with the chickens on the other side of the country, Ronn Benway, is back in town. Now, he's taking every venue by storm, but we brought him back for a special reunion episode here in the studio where he can talk to some of his closest friends, reveal some of his latest projects, and just generally have a really great time, which if you have ever experienced Ronn Benway, you know that's pretty much guaranteed whenever you hang out with him. So we'll be talking. We have, of course, Amy Mummert with The Trouble with Amy, talking a little bit about his music. We have an awesome young musician, Cody Kilburn, who will also be joining us, that Ron gets to interview. And just sit back, relax, and enjoy the Ronn Benway coaster ride.
So Ron, welcome back to York. Welcome back to Culture in Maine.
Thank
How
you.
are
It's
you?
good to be back here. Fabulous. I'm great.
Yes, you are.
Doing really well. I mean, inside I'm fabulous.
Good to hear. So I guess the big question, what have you been up to? You've been out of town.
I left town. I came back last summer. I left town in 2000 December, like not last December, but December before. I came back for 3 months last summer, and then I went back to Seattle. And I've just been in Seattle, working on different projects, working with a few different musicians, and just kind of like chilling, enjoying freedom in Seattle, and just having a good time. You know, just trying to. It's funny. In York, I love what I do here and what I am here, but I felt like after a couple of years, I was just that, and I kind of like to redefine myself a lot, and I like to keep it fresh. So I thought if I got out and saw some different things and lived some different lives and met some different people, it might be fresh for me to come back to York. You know what I mean? So I'm here right now because I booked a nice lady named Mary who books things in this town, booked me for a street fair, the Old York Street Fair. And we did it last year. I came back to town to play the Old York Street Fair, and then this year, and then she booked me again next year. So I'm booked. If you're looking for my next gig in York, it'll be Mother's Day 2017, right along Market Street. It'll be a yearly thing. I gave her a 20-year contract. I said I'll be back for the next 17 years after this one. So you've got me for the next Mother's Day, every, because you know how I love mothers. All right. Hi, Cody. How are you?
I'm good, Ron.
Welcome to Culture in Maine. We're here. Hi, York. Welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. What'd you up to today? How are you? Good?
I'm good.
It's been doing some walking around?
Yeah.
I like walking. I'm a fan of walking.
Yeah.
I feel like you can get wherever you need to get to in the time you need to get there, as long as you give yourself the time you need, right? That's what life's about.
Right. I thought it took 15 minutes to get here. It took 45.
Yeah, you know.
I still made it, though.
You still made it?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Right. So you play music
Yeah.
out and about, York County,
Yeah.
and you've done this for a long time. I've known you for years now. I've known you for
Yeah.
about, how long, 5, 6 years, I think I've known you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you've been playing music since you were a scrawny little kid, and now you're a
Yeah.
scrawny man.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Why do you play music? I know
I
it's kind of vague, but why do you play music?
I don't know, man. I picked up the guitar when I was like young. I was like 11 years old, and my dad like had these guitars hanging up in the basement, and I was like, I want to play one of those. And
Right.
it wasn't like, like I want to learn how to play guitar. I was like fascinated with music, and it's sort of like something that kind of like I believe and feel that music kind of like picked me, like and not just like, because nobody can just like go and like, I'm gonna play guitar and learn how to play guitar and lock themselves in their rooms for like 4 hours a day and like
Right.
play music. It's just something that I love to do. I don't know.
So many people I know music kind of have that. I mean, that's why you want to play music, because music picked you.
Yeah.
Not because you want music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like music is like the god that you aspire to be as good as.
Yeah.
And you can only just kind of give your little chirps and whirps to try to be as good as music, all of music, right?
Yeah.
You know that we couldn't have conversation without having music. So enjoy a little bit of Ronn Benway in your life.
I love walking around York, Pennsylvania, man. I just love this town. I love hugging people here. I don't know what it is. You get into a place and you just feel comfortable, and you're not quite sure why you're there or why. Every once in a while I'll get off a train somewhere or get off a bus and be like, I know I've been here and I've never been there. It's all this DNA, it's all this water in my body, holding all that memory, right? We're all just fleshy little water things that want to be loved. How dare you evolve out of your gills? Now all your little bits and corners will lead us backwards to the show. That long, safe drive to the corner will teach us what we should not know. Your la-dee-da and your hoop-dee-talk will do. Your la-dee-da and your hoop-dee-talk will do. Walking sunflower in the field, that is you. La-dee-da and your hoop-dee-talk will do. Your la-dee-da and your hoop-dee-talk will do. Those giant big boys have a heart like a shine shoe. La-dee-da, and your hoodie talk will do. Your la-dee-da, and your hoopty talk will do. Don't be afraid to change tempo mid-song, folks.
So, are you still busking a lot in
Yeah,
Seattle?
I'm still busking, which is street performing. If people out there aren't familiar with the verb busking, it's a verb, right? It's an action word. It's a very action word.
It's a gerund.
It's a total action word. It's a what?
It's a gerund with an ing on it.
Oh, okay. I'm not that smart.
Oh, but you are.
Still doing a lot of street performing. What's great, what I love about busking is like you're ultimately your own boss in so many ways. You can go out and do a bad show, not get any money. You can go out, do a great show, make a bit of money, or you can just not work at all if you don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, and there's no pressure. When you play in a bar, it's trying to get your friends there to buy beers and trying to impress them over and over and over and over and over again. But in the street, it's just random strangers who aren't sure they're even going to be entertained today.
Okay.
So it's nice to have the option to be on a stage or be in the street.
What's your most amazing? Have you ever had like a really amazing experience busking? Like one standout,
Sure.
just one standout,
Lots.
right? But
One day, I was years ago, and there's pictures on my Facebook page, you can see these. I was alone under the clock. They call it the clock set. It's right where they throw the fish in Pike Place. I was playing, getting some attention, but not much attention. And a young man came up with a lady on his arm, and he said, "We want to dance today. Can you play music we can dance to?" I go, "Yeah, I totally can." And I kicked in, you know, and those two and their 6 friends, I'm sorry, there was 10 altogether, there were 10 couples altogether, started dancing in front of me. Like they were a dance crew of like swing dancers who came to the market to dance. And all of a sudden, it was like purple rain in front of me because there was just people dancing in unison, stop clapping, spinning, clap, spinning, clap. And I'm just trying to chuckle along, and the tourists all around are taking photos and taking all these different, it was nuts, it was crazy. And you can still see pictures. There's a picture of me in the middle and all this dance crew behind me and like us posing, and then there's pictures of them all dancing, and I had no idea where this was coming from. See, this is the thing. You can go out, busking is such a metaphor for life for me. You can get up and you can rule your domain, or you can let your domain walk right past you, you know? You can say, "Stop and look at me, and maybe I can entertain you and give me $1, and if you don't like it, keep moving." Like I'm not looking to get in anybody's hair out in the street, you know? If you want to dance and sing, you can. We worked the street fair. When we worked with the Mother's Day street fair, it was a great opportunity for me to not have to work each dollar and get to play with people in the street. Ian Carroll, who's a great local musician, and we just walked up and down Market Street from the very end to the very front, just never really stopping except to dance with people who wanted to dance, or to jam with children who had pan flutes hanging around their neck, or whatever. It was just a great day where we just got to move up and down. And it's guerrilla entertainment. Like no one's really sure when, you know, you're never sure when you're gonna make somebody's day. Somebody who was having a horrible day is gonna walk past you, and you're gonna sing them the right song, and they're gonna perk up or whatever. And you never know when you're gonna annoy somebody too out in the street. So it works both ways.
Okay, so, I mean, I know that you're very much renowned, beloved, adored.
You use these adjectives.
Sought after. I'm a poet. I can't help it. I think in excessive adjective activity. But your music has absolutely been the first language that people learned to speak with you. That was
that's a good way to put
the
it.
way that they learned to communicate, experience the Benway. But now, when I keep seeing you pop up, social media, Facebook, you're everywhere for a whole new form of expression and communication, which, the first time I saw a Ravenous Baby video, I was like, what is happening here? Like, what is going on? There's a tiny little plastic baby that is eating its way across the country. But then it made me go and look at your video page, and I saw that you were doing a whole new thing with creating these shorts and these, on the spur of the moment, on scene videos that people are going nuts over. You're viraling across the country.
It's tough to viral nowadays.
So I know that you were doing the Behind the Busker series because you actually were heavily featured in some pretty big, widely circulated documentaries and capturing the busker movement and the movement and street performance. So what inspired you to start capturing other people that were doing that same thing?
I got a better phone.
Sometimes equipment makes all the difference.
See, this is the deal. This is what kind of sparked me was I had a phone that was good enough to do what I wanted to do. And then I went out and I spent I got a $100 phone instead of a $40 phone. And all of a sudden this $100 phone was like, oh, it does this and does. See, it's not even a better phone. It's it's still a mediocre phone. But I realized this has good audio and good video now. So I started just filming my friends and filming whatever. And I first started the Behind the Busker series because I wanted my friends that I see every day, because I ran a record store for 22 years in my life. Right. And we didn't mention that today, but some people might know that who are watching. I ran a record store 22 years and people still ask me, what music do you like?
And I'm that was down in Venice Beach,
That was Venice Beach and Las Vegas, Nevada.
Crazy.
My hometown in Las Vegas, yeah. People would be like, what, and still they ask me now, what music do you like? And I say, the music I see every day, the music I see in the street, the music I see in a bar in York, the music I see here. So I started the Behind the Busker series when I'm watching my friends play every day. And I realized that, and I know a lot of my friends who play inside don't necessarily play outside, and I like to give the viewpoint. So that's why it's Behind the Busker. I start in the front of the busker, and I work my way around the busker and show you what they're seeing.
When behind the scenes goes literal.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And so you can see whether this person's being adored by a group of people with cameras out, or if this person's being ignored by people who are busy and don't have the time to offer this person, or you get to see the other side of the music. And I found myself so enamored with the people I was watching every day that I had to share them with the people who couldn't see them every day. And sometimes it's my friends who are hula hooping and getting full exposure, and sometimes it's a guy. I filmed one guy who's great. I love him. He sings all in Spanish, and he just plays an old tub like Farmer John plays, and he's just singing because he has to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
His soul is coming out through
He
the
didn't make a
washed-up
penny.
bass.
I mean, I paid him, but he didn't make a penny all morning, and he had to sing. You know, it's why we play music. We play music because we have to. We don't play music because we want to. We play music because we have to. It's important, you know. And in the Behind the Busker series, you can hashtag Behind the Busker, one word, on Google, and it'll come up about 10 or 12 different videos that I've taken. And I filmed one in York. I filmed a busker, Ian Carroll, the guy I play with. I filmed him the other day at the street fair, and I got around him. And you can watch. You can see the people. Some people are bored. Some people are on their phones. Some people are amazed. Yeah. Like the end of the Ian Carroll one, you can see this. It's a mom and I think a son, if I remember right. I've only watched it a couple times, and they're just like, and the son is just like, whoa, like you can just do this. You know, it's street performing is an entrepreneurial spirit that's just like, what am I gonna do today? I'm gonna go take my art to the street. you're quite a songwriter. Where do you get your inspiration for songs from? Do you just wherever it comes from, like?
Usually, like, it's whatever I'm going through, like, at that moment. Sometimes I'll just write songs to write songs. Like, the last few months, I've locked myself in the bathroom and just wrote a bunch of songs, you know, like trail offs on, like, what you know, the last few years have been, like, hell and back. And sometimes I'll just write songs that aren't even about what I'm going through, and then just, like, random stuff, you know. But usually it's a lot to do with, like, what I've been going through and what I went through in the last few years.
Yeah. I find my songs a reflection of where I've been and where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I don't always notice that while I'm writing them. A lot of times I'm stream of consciousness songs. Some of your songs are very stream of consciousness, I've noticed.
Yeah.
But I don't know what a song's about until it's over.
That's exactly
right.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. People will be like, "What's that about?" And I'll be like, "I don't know." And then
I'll just make something up.
I'll play it 15, 20 times and be like, "Wait, that means this."
Right.
I'm implying this. Like I'm like, and I remember, and then I'll remember back to some situation.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So you get that same kind of thing.
That's exactly what it is. Because when I'm writing music in the moment, I'm like, you know, like, I don't know. It's the guitar leading me and my vocals leading after. And it's kind of like I'm like putting the things together, and it's coming from like a higher point of, you know, like past like who I am. Like it's not, I believe that it's coming from somewhere else other than me. Because if I sit down and I try to write something, and if I try to like sing a song, or I try to like write music, it doesn't come out. Like I get that block. But if I sit down in like that meditative state, and you know, like I'm one with the music comes out.
You're not a jingle writer, right? This is a song from my album called Open Range. When I woke up last Tuesday, well, I realized I had nothing but time. Time for new jerking. Oops, sorry. Time to cut down on working. I messed up the words. Time for new working. Time to cut down on jerking. Time to find a turkey in a garbage can. When I found my inner light in my 40s, it came clear I had no need for fear. The fear I had to use to insult and abuse was now at my shoes in that garbage can. This is for Cassie. When I lost my Chuck Taylor, well, I knew you'd have it for me when I returned. Return to a shore, who we touch will endure. Yeah, it's hard to find a pedicure in a garbage can. When I grew up last Tuesday, well, you showed me I had no one to save. You all have no one to save. Except for myself, who's not content on a shelf. A gator pit has such hidden wealth, like a garbage can. Jump in, I dare you. One man's trash is another man's treasure. One man's man is another man's woman. One man's woman is another man's trash. Or vice versa. This works in all genders and all sexes.
We've had Cody on the show before, and I was really excited to hear that he was coming back to join us, and admittedly, even a little bit nervous. Cody is someone who has faced a tremendous amount of struggle, battled bigger demons than a lot of us who are much older can even imagine. But Cody was the one who said, as a musician, I face the greatest fear that most people in this country have every single time I step on the stage. I choose to be vulnerable. I choose to put myself out for judgment. Did you know that that's actually the biggest fear? Public speaking and public performance? There are people who will dive in caves or jump out of planes that won't get up and just be themselves in front of a room full of strangers. So I'm very excited to welcome the very courageous and important young voice, Cody Kilburn, back to Culture in Maine. We're excited to see where his future and his road takes him.
This is a new song. So burn like a bridge, and all hearts like ours don't last this long. So baby, burn like a bridge. We were chasing moonlight, lost right now, trying to find our way back, divided by clouds. So baby, burn and stain like a page. And you've been gone so long, you don't look the same anymore. So baby, stay. You're a shooting star, I can't make a wish. And the hardest part is it ends like this. So baby, breathe like you did, and I will hold you in my arms like when we were kids. So baby, breathe like you did. I can remember you, the lights went out. You're the puzzle piece that never fit. So baby, breathe like you did.
I don't think they understand. They're always telling me to be whenever I need help in there. But whenever I call them up, I know it's to be found. I guess when their tree falls, I'll be the only one to hear. Yeah, they're going down. 'Cause everyone has their place in my life, yes I know. Some of them are business that have helped me grow. Some people I go through again and again and again, but I guess I'll find out by then. All they ever wanted was somebody that could be my friend and remain. I know I never wanna be somebody I just expect to say. All they ever really wanted was somebody that knew more than my first name. But guess I'm finding out who all my soul. laughing on the low. And all I can see is thank you for helping me to write this song. 'Cause everyone has their place in my life, yes I know. Some of them are lessons that I guess that I should have known. Some people I go through again and again and again. But I guess I found out who are my so-called friends, friends, friends. Friends, you should check them. Friends, my friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Whitney. Yeah, Whitney's stuff is great. Whitney was in the movie with me, a Buskers documentary. Find Your Way, a Buskers documentary, it's called. Whitney's in it, and I'm in it, and such, and yeah. Yeah, Whitney is just everything that makes people in the street pay attention. Like she attracts crowds.
Yeah, I want to
she
know
attracts
what is
crowds
that?
like you. Yeah,
The magic formula.
I've rarely seen a street performer autograph CDs as much as Whitney Manger. Whitney Manger, she'll just she'll sell you a disc and you feel like she's gonna make it. So you gotta, and sometimes that's a hard deal to deal with in the street. People are like, oh, why are you still here? Like,
That's
and
true.
you're still here because you like it here. You know, I had a busker when I went back to Seattle say to me, he was a new guy who just started, and I'd been here. I
Right.
came back. I introduced myself, we talk. Next day I see him. He goes, I Googled you. I was like, yeah? He goes, what are you doing out here for?
You're everywhere.
What are you doing out here for? You've got videos all across the country. You've got fans all across the country. I was like, I like this. I like playing here. I like singing for strangers. And what I also like about the Behind the Busker series, something that I've really tried to do, when they realize it's me, because I know most of these people in Seattle, when the busker I'm filming realizes it's me, they let me get closer to them. They let me get in their face. A tourist who's there has to stand back and be scared. Not me. There's one with Emery Carl where he's hula hooping, and Emery's hula hooping while he's singing and playing his guitar behind his back, and he's hula hooping, and you can see him lean into me. And I'm like holding my camera out as far as I can, and his hula hoop's going like this around me. And I know if I knock this guy's hula hoop down, the whole crowd who's watching him is gonna go, oh. And he's going like, I dare you to get close to me, Benway, I dare you. Let's see how close you can get to me while he's hula hooping. I can get closer in these behind the busker videos, and that's what I feel is one of the strong points of it. Is that
you really are giving
I get to
people
go
a
somewhere.
perspective that no one else
Yeah.
can get in a way that gives a awareness and humanizes these performers that can so often become background, but it's the background that you are devastated without. It's like if you took all the art off the walls, the whole way that we interact with the world would change. If all the murals were gone, if all the artwork was gone, everything about how we walked through the streets, how we felt, how we interacted with our environment would be devastated. But yet, if you ask people to describe the art they saw every day, people would struggle to give you one or two answers. They don't even notice it individually, but they know it's there, and they know, more significantly, they know when it's not there. Mm-hmm. And I love the idea that you're saying you would take this for granted, you do take this for granted, but I want you to see it. I want you to engage, and I want you to recognize what you're lucky enough to be surrounded by. You don't let people ignore you when you perform.
I try
Which
not
is
to.
one of my favorite things. You don't even let people ignore the baby. Because, I mean, I totally got the behind the busker, but then there's the cannibal commercial baby coming for assorted products and places and performers near you. Like, what inspired the branch out to some of the other hashtags that have evolved?
The animation came from a combination of me watching too many cartoons, like turning on the TV, and I could spend an hour and a half watching a cartoon that I've seen a dozen times, or I can take out my phone and make a cartoon in that hour and a half. And
That's
I can,
the entrepreneurial
and I can,
spirit
I
right
can
there.
take that cartoon and I can share it with my friends in a matter of seconds. This is the amazing thing the internet's done for us.
That's true.
You know what I mean? There's no more distribution. There's no more
Technology is not
okaying with
just
the big
evil.
guy. Technology is not just evil. Technology can be very evil. A bottle of Jack Daniels can be lovely to sip, can be horrible to finish. You know what I mean?
Well said.
You don't need to hammer down your cell phone all day, every day. Think of your cell phone as hard liquor.
Ooh.
Think of your cell phone as hard liquor. It's good to pull out sometimes
Right.
when it's socially acceptable, but you don't need to be hammering down shots all day.
No.
You know what I mean?
And if you can't leave it alone, I'm going to need you to take a whole break.
So I started making little animated shorts, and I started making these loops. I started just making like boom, 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 and that was one. And then Tony C, the human beatbox, got me going on this. But then it was like, and that goes over boom, 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 boom. And you layer and you layer and you layer. And I'm just sitting in a bed with a phone barking loops into it. Then I start posting those things, little 30-second, 40-second things, and nobody's listening to them. Like I posted them online, nobody's touching them. Sometimes you throw your art out there, nobody touches it. So I've got these little musical vignettes. Is that the right word? I hope so. I've got these little musical bits, and nobody's listening to them. So I start taking these little musical loops and putting them with these little weird cartoons. And the little cartoons start getting a lot of play. So I'm like, okay, nobody wanted to hear me just burping into my phone, but people don't mind when there's clay moving around while I'm burping into my phone. So I go off to a little toy store, and I buy a bunch of nondescript toys that don't have copyright or whatever.
Right.
And I go home with them, and I start making these cartoons.
I wrote the plastic too. I'll be a DJ fan. I sometimes play my hand down home blue. Down home blue. I want to roll my piece of plastic, play my Pepsi cup for you. I brought my bass downtown, good to get rid of your frown, the blues. Can I play you the blues?
And the baby was like a feature in one. The Ravenous Baby was just in one. And I'm sitting one night with a macaroon and a baby. I swear, and that was it. That was it.
Next thing you know, a breakout star is born.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, this baby could eat this macaroon. And in a matter of seconds, I set up a camera and I take a bunch of pictures with the baby just cutting through the macaroon. And there's a music box of an Iron Man, of a Black Sabbath song playing in the background, so it's kind of funny. But the soundtrack's always important in the Ravenous Baby videos too. Yeah.
Yes, very true. Soundtracks make the
Soundtrack
movies.
makes the thing. Yeah, they always are a part of it. But so I make this macaroon video out of just wild hair. Let's make this, see what happens. The next day, everybody's like, "This is the funniest thing. Oh my gosh, this is the funniest thing." And I was like, I could make this baby eat anything. So I just started going out and making the baby eat whatever, whenever. And I do them in public a lot of the times, so it has to be quick. Like I don't want these to be 2-week, 3-week things. And I know they're kind of jumpy.
Yeah, but guerrilla entertainment has to have that guerrilla spirit.
This is guerrilla animation.
Yes.
Like, and that's the thing. I sit down, I finish off a Ravenous Baby video in about an hour and a half.
Okay.
About an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's soundtrack, that's voiceovers, that's me going. And you have to like hold the phone and be like, okay, the num-nums weren't right. Num-num-num-num-num. Num, 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 num. So it's a rhythm of num-num-nums.
Yes, that's very important
And
stuff.
let me tell you, when you got to explain to a roommate what's going to go on in the bathroom for about 15 minutes, hey, I'm going to be in the bathroom and you're going to hear a lot of num, 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 num. And
but don't interrupt.
I haven't lost my mind. Oh, well, I'm not all the way. But yeah,
there's still a purpose to it.
So I just did so all the Ravenous Baby videos immediately went on Instagram. And Instagram only gave you 15 seconds. So they all had to be 15 seconds. So they went from macaroons to licorice to burritos to Indian food. I did one on an airplane where I luckily had a seat next to me and pulled my camera out of my tripod and made an animated short right on an airplane while it was flying. The baby comes out, eats the biscuit, goes in my pocket, and goes to sleep. Like that's basically it. But I just did the first 1 minute one. So Instagram just gave everybody a minute last month. Oh, thank you, Instagram. We love your social worship. But so the first minute one just aired the other day, and I eat products that the baby likes, or the baby eats products I like. I mean,
Nice.
And it's just sometimes it's fruits and vegetables in a setting, or sometimes it's in a public place. Sometimes I pose the baby with stuff. It's just fun to just do something different, you know.
So if people want
Sit still. Sit down. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Sit down. Sit still. Sit down.
This is a song I wrote about a year and a half ago. It's about secrets. She's counting sheep in the bedroom while I'm loading my gun. You're watching her dream well until the morning sun. When she's smoking cigarettes, she damn night. So call me and hold my heart when we're both lovers, worlds apart. You call me and hold my heart and shed light on my dark. saw God through a window as he stared in my eyes. We patiently waited till he said our goodbyes. But she said, stay with me just for tonight. But if we go any longer, then I won't open my eyes. So call me and hold my heart. We're both lovers, worlds apart. You call me and hold my heart. You call me and hold my heart. You call me, hold my heart.
That's for me a big part of the difference between a musician and a songwriter. A musician is someone who's learned the numbers, can play the numbers, can work the numbers, knows how to make the numbers affect people, but a songwriter has to take all this dark back here and flower it up and throw it out at people. Like, you know, like you've got all these kind of, and I, as a songwriter, if I don't play my songs on a regular basis, I play a lot. I was playing to somebody today. I play covers that I love because there's songwriters I love, but a lot of the songs that I play out and about for the people in the bars is to get paid. You know what I mean? The radio is a powerful tool. Emotions are such, but as far as a songwriter, my songs are for me to share, and in a way, kind of therapy. You know, and that's why I always try to encourage songwriters to live as much life as they can. Because if you're sitting in a little room, staring at the same walls, writing the same song over and over, you're not helping yourself. You're not helping anybody. You know,
Right, yeah.
This is all a process we all have to get through together. You know, and that's what I love about the way I met you, or the way I met so many interesting musicians in this scene. We're not coming together to. We're coming together for us. You know what I mean? And if people want to watch, that's cool too.
Yeah.
But in a way, I feel like people like you and people like me and certain other singer-songwriters in this city, you know, we have our gripes and our passions and our loves and our hates, and we need to share all that and share it. But we also need to grow and change, and we also need to live a life and get outside of our little comfort zones.
Yeah.
Very important to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. This next one is fairly new. Actually, really new. It's about a woman who a man was in love with and made promises and to meet each other again once he got back from where he was going, and he's you know, they're both growing apart, and she meets this other guy and they have a baby, and it's just like a thing of being like grateful for the love that we find. And dear Juliet, well, I've been watching you through sunsets. I heard you're late again. And here's a Romeo roaming the horizon. And if he gets lost, I hope you find him. I hope you find him. got your velvet glove in your iron fist. You say you fell in love from the very first kiss. So here's the apathy and counting down the days. And here's the agony and lack of sleep. At least then I'll be dreaming of you. At least I'll be dreaming of you. Dear Juliet, you find him yet? Well, here's the meeting at that lighthouse where I swore you could find me. I'll be laying on the shoreline where we get washed up like memories. So here's the apathy and counting down the days. Through cheers for agony and lack of sleep, at least then I'll be dreaming of you. At least I'll be dreaming of you. Dear Juliet, I've been watching you through sunsets. I bet you're late again. And here's Romeo roaming the horizon. And if he gets lost, I hope you find him. I heard you found him. It's been quite a journey itself, like going, like these last like 3 or 4 years have been just complete madness, like in and out of jail, rehab, psych wards and stuff like that. And like, I feel like I've seen like the worst of the worst, been in the state of mind of the worst, and complete darkness. And then every time like I find that little bit of light, I come back and I find these guys. I find, you know, music and art, and the people that have been here and doing the thing. Like, I haven't been here in like 3 years maybe, and I haven't seen you in like 2 years. And you know, I just keep coming back to that, and that's where like the love is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost unexplainable.
It's a different way to entertain. Mm-hmm. I really don't think people should see street performing as begging, because it's not begging. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're begging, you make more money. Quite honestly, I've known people who beg, and I've known people who street perform, and I've watched people who beg, and I know how much I make street performing, and beggars make more money. Okay. If you stand on the corner and you say, "Can I have a dollar? Can I have a dollar? Can I have a dollar?" to everyone, you'll make more money. If you stand on the corner and you sing, "I love the world and I want you to be happy," people will go, "What's this guy doing?" But if you say, "Give me a dollar," they'll give you a dollar, you know? So you make more money begging. Not that I've begged. I've never begged in my life, but street performing is guerrilla entertainment, and I love it.
Okay. So now you're back in York, and you've played the Old York Street Fair. Mm-hmm. Are you leaving Monday? What can we expect from you?
I promised Mr. Spiel, I promised Shane Spiel a good couple weeks. So awesome. I'm here May and June. Awesome. And I might be around a little after that, but I'm not certain. So just kind of playing it by ear, seeing how I've got gigs until the end of June organized and stuff. We're playing at the Brook. Oh, this will be airing after that. Sorry. We're playing a few places around town. Spiel's Tavern out there. We're doing the Liquid Hero on First Friday in June.
Your first camp.
First Cap. I have a First Cap show. I have a Cherry Lane show that's alone, that's out in Cherry Lane on a hopefully sunny day. Oh, please, don't rain me out of Cherry Lane again. 3 times I've been rained out. Whoever I'm looking at, I don't know. Don't rain me out of Cherry Lane again, master. No, I mean master. Be your own master, people. Be your own master right here. Here's your... As the crow flies softly, he will go to you. He will go. Now as the pain grows sharply, he will turn to you. He will know. We will know where we were when the floods began. And there will be no holding back. Now as your boat fills with water, you will swim to me. I will row, I will row, I will row. Life-giving water fills your nostril holes. Then down below where every question will be answered soon, about why such things occur. Uncles, dads, and mothers, very soon they'll all discover you and what you do. Now as you bite down quietly on my lip tonight, the red will flow. Fresh dripping in my sadistic mouth, where will it go? Will I spit that waiting stain on your white duvet? Or shall I simply choke it down? Aunts and uncles, dads and mothers, very soon they'll all discover you and what you do. Thanks, York.
Thanks for joining us on another amazing episode of Spotlight, a production of Culture in Maine, York's cultural showcase. We want to hear your ideas, and we want you to be a part of the show. Whether you're an artist or a fan, send us an email to cultureinmaine@gmail.com. Check us out on the web at wrct.tv. Or make sure to find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/White Rose Community TV. Thanks again for joining us, and have a great week. We'll see you soon, right here on the corner of Culture in Maine.
It becomes simple. You know, it gets... I'm so embarrassed.
Now you know where milk comes from.